This is Valley News Live at noon.
We have breaking news for you at noon. One person has died in a head-on crash in Grand Forks County. Officials say that a 20-year-old from Fertile, Minnesota and a 42-year-old man from Crookston were involved in that head-on crash just before 8:30 a.m. The 20-year-old was in a Dodge Charger and was eastbound on 6th Avenue when the vehicle crossed the center line and collided head-on with the 42-year-old man who was in a Ford truck. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. Officials plan to release his name after family members have been notified. And multiple fire crews responded to a trailer fire in South Fargo this morning. The fire was called in just after 4 a.m. and firefighters worked to control the flames of that fully engulfed trailer and spent some time afterwards sifting through rubble to tamp out any remaining fire. Now, crews say that no one was inside the trailer at the time of the fire, and they say that they're unsure if anyone is living in that trailer. Well, let's check in now with meteorologist Jim Gash. Jim, it's looking pretty good out there right now. What do you got for us?
Yeah, it is looking pretty good out there right now, but that could change in our near future. But for right now, we're looking at our Dakota Magic Skycam where the wind has picked up a little bit in just the past couple of minutes. Just a few minutes ago, those were all pretty still and not waving at all. So the wind is picking up a little bit as the sun has come up and is doing some warming of the surface, creating some wind there. Our temperatures across the region right now are mostly in the 60s and 70s. 60s up along the international border. Langdon is our cold spot for right now at 61 degrees. And down south, it's a bit warmer where Lakes Country is in the low to mid 70s, even some upper 70s. Wadena there at 77 degrees. Our sky conditions are pretty clear. There are some clouds moving in through the northern part of our viewing area, and those are in front of some rain, which could impact us later on this afternoon, or evening rather. And temperatures here in Fargo will increase to about 71 degrees here at about 4 o'clock, and we'll see some clouds gather. And I'll let you know if that means some rain is on the way, or we'll stick with these dry conditions for just a little bit longer.
All right, so have the poncho on standby.
On standby, yes. You don't have to put it on quite yet.
Yeah, Jim, thank you so much. Well, at least one person is dead in a car semi-crash in Todd County, Minnesota. The State Patrol says that the two vehicles hit head-on last night on State Highway 27 near Long Prairie. Troopers say that the semi was driven by a 20-year-old man from Freeport and the car was driven by a 55-year-old woman from Bertram, Minnesota. Well, schools across the country are struggling with staffing troubles, everything from bus drivers to teachers. It's been an issue in the Valley too, and West Fargo school board members are hoping that they have a solution. Last night, they unanimously approved a one-time stipend to give all staff members. It'll be $500 for full-time educators working more than 30 hours a week, $400 for part-timers, and $250 for substitutes who worked in the district in the 2021-2022 and the 2022-2023 years. The stipend will come with no hikes in property taxes, and it'll be covered by pre-budgeted ESSER funds, which are awarded to school districts for financial impacts from COVID-19. Well, Fargo school administrators are discussing a proposal similar to West Fargo's on September 27th. Now, this was one of the faces of the 1997 flood disaster in the Northern Valley, and former East Grand Forks Mayor Lynn Stowes has died of kidney disease at age 77. He served as mayor for more than 2 decades and was instrumental in the city's flood fight and recovery. Funeral services are Friday at 11 a.m. at Hope Church in Grand Forks. And it's 20 years in prison for a man who shot 3 people at a downtown Fargo bar last February. A judge sentenced 44-year-old Brandon Grant yesterday. Security video shows him inside the Bismarck Tavern where he was punched multiple times, then got involved in a fight. Grant then pulled out a handgun and shot the 3 men. Investigators are looking for the cause of a fire that badly damaged the former school in Nash, North Dakota in Walsh County. Several departments spent more than 5 hours trying to put out the flames that were reported around midnight on Sunday. Now, the school has been closed for more than 10 years. Well, Queen Elizabeth's coffin heads to London, where King Charles makes his first visit to Northern Ireland as the new monarch. Ian Lee reports from Windsor, England.
After lying in rest at a Scottish cathedral for 24 hours, the coffin of the late Queen Elizabeth is making its way to England. Outside Westminster Hall in London, where her body will lie in state ahead of her funeral Monday, mourners have begun camping out.
It's really worth it to be part of it.
Members of the United Kingdom's armed forces took part in a pre-dawn drill to practice for Wednesday afternoon's procession.
It's a very sad day, but it is our opportunity, our last opportunity, to do a duty for the Queen.
While the outpouring of grief continues across England, including here at Windsor Castle, King Charles is in Northern Ireland for his first visit as monarch. The King greeted well-wishers outside Hillsborough Castle, the royal family's official residence just outside Belfast. A 21-gun salute marked his arrival. The British monarchy has a complicated history in Northern Ireland, where decades of violence has marked divisions between Protestant Unionists and Catholic nationalists. The King acknowledged that split, saying his mother never stopped praying for the people of Northern Ireland.
My mother felt deeply, I know, the significance of the role she herself played in bringing together those whom history had separated, and in extending a hand to make possible the healing of long-held hurts.
In a sign of reconciliation and respect for the Queen, representatives of Sinn Féin, the main Irish Republican Party, attended today's events. Ian Lee, CBS News, Windsor, England.
This was Charles's 40th trip to Northern Ireland, but his first as king. More than 100 veterans from the Red River Valley are wrapping up their final day of the honor flight in Washington, D.C. Now, yesterday was a full day for the group. They visited the Air Force Memorial, the Navy Memorial, Iwo Jima, and Arlington National Cemetery, where they saw the changing of the guard. And today, the group will be visiting the World War II, Korean, and Vietnam memorials before they head back to Grand Forks tonight. And many of the veterans say that they're touched to be on this flight and to see everything our nation's capital has to offer.
Yeah, it's pretty touching, you know. You don't even know some of this exists. You have no idea, you know. And the way we are honored today, it's a great privilege. And like behind me here, you know, what it's all about, you know. It's just, yeah. I've been just really grateful, the trip, the hotels, all the food, the volunteers. It just goes on endlessly.
And we'll continue our coverage of this honor flight throughout the day on Valley News Live. Well, coming up at noon, modern-day makeovers for U.S. hotels. But first, Jim Gash is in to help you plan your weather day today.